And we are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Savin's World. My name is Savin, and I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today. It's Thursday, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. I got to tell you, it's been a crazy week, man. It has been a crazy, crazy week. I won't go into too much detail, but I'm in rough shape, or I have been all week, so we'll see how tonight goes. That's kind of why I wanted to do something a little less intensive, not a regular gaming stream, just kind of a more chilled, laid-back discussion stream, because, we've got a pretty big game just around the corner, guys. Something that I've been looking forward to for a very long time, and we're going to be discussing the topic of Starfield. And the question that I asked is, will Starfield suck? Because there's a possibility that it will. So we're gonna go through the Starfield Direct, which was an amazing video. You got to give it up to Bethesda. They always do great with. I mean, they are marketing geniuses. They are hype machines, man. They know how to get people excited about their products. But there's good and bad that comes with that. And we'll get into it. Get into it tonight. I am not alone. However, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be bringing in my special guest, good friend of mine, good friend of the channel. You guys know him. You love him. The eye candy of Savin's World, Mr. Schneidi. Schneidi, how you doing, brother?
I'm fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Excellent. Excellent. So, I have to be frank with you guys. I've never done anything like this before, so we're going to be watching the Starfield Direct. I'm going to be trying to be as transformative as possible, pausing. We're going to be discussing everything. Um, and I don't know what it's going to look like to all of you out in the audience. So, everybody watching, let me know if you can, once we get into the actual direct, if you can hear everything okay, if you can see everything okay. But like I said, throughout, we're going to be pausing, discussing different sections and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, we're going to get into it. So, just in case you guys do not know, Starfield is coming out in early access on September 1st. It's actually, like here in the States, it's August 31st, I think at midnight Eastern time is when you can actually start playing the game. If you can get it preloaded on your system the day before, I believe. So August 30th. So like literally 6 days away, you can have the game loaded up and ready to go. The next day at midnight, you can actually jump in and start playing. And then it releases to everybody else on September 6th, and that's on PC and Xbox. I would assume that eventually it'll make its way to the PS5, but I don't know that 100% for sure. So, yeah. So if you guys do not know, I am a huge fan of most Bethesda products, Bethesda titles. If I had to pick one game studio that I've played the most of, it would be hands down, no questions asked, Bethesda. I think I have more hours in Bethesda titles than every other game I've ever played combined. That's how much have played these games. I've made it no bones about it that Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind is probably my favorite game of all time. I've played the Fallout series, Fallout 3, a ton, Fallout 4, a ton, Oblivion, Skyrim. Love them all. So, yes, I am a fan. However, Bethesda is not without fault. They have made mistakes. They have missteps. They've straight out lied to their consumers, their customers. And that's one thing that I hate when developers do is you released a turd. Just own up to the fact that you released a turd. Okay, don't try to spin it and straight up lie to your fan base. I mean, I hate that. And unfortunately, that's what we saw with Fallout 76. It was atrocious. Now, when it first came out, now maybe it has gotten better as time went by. That does not discount the fact that upon launch, it was a mess. It was a disaster. It was terrible. And anybody who says otherwise, I'm sorry, you're delusional. It was a mess. So, Bethesda kind of had a fall from grace, kind of. I mean, they lost a lot of credibility. And we're going to find out here in the not too distant future if they are able to get some of that back and finally get back to what Bethesda Game Studios does best, which is the single player, massive open world role playing games. So yeah. So yeah, that's my initial take. But Schneidi, what are your general thoughts before we get into the actual direct? What are your general thoughts on Bethesda? Because I know you've played some Bethesda games, and seeing where they've come and the missteps and the mistakes and of the not only Fallout 76, but I think I have not heard much good about Redfall as well. So a couple of major missteps.
Uh, well, I have played like all of the Fallout games back from when it was Interplay and then Bethesda took over, and with Fallout 3 and 4.
Right.
and Vegas and all of that. And the thing of it was, with 3 and then New Vegas, and even though that's kind of contracted out, but like by the time you got to 4, you were like you were like, well, it's gonna, and knowing what I knew about that, and then hearing other things with like Elder Scrolls, like most people just kind of knew, like, hey, it's gonna be very immersive, very uh, huge world with a lot of options and a lot of detail, and so people were willing to uh, take that. Or they were willing to, because of that. Sorry, because of all of that, they were willing to put up with all of the problems, all of the bugs, because all of their games always released and they were always buggy. There was always a problem. They always had to work things out. But people were always very forgiving with those Bethesda games, much more so than other companies. Other companies, would get bashed a little bit more, but Bethesda always had a pass with everything. And that lasted, much like you said, kind of up through 4, and then 76 came out, and that was a debacle. Now that destroyed all their goodwill, and they have no goodwill going into Starfield. Now a lot of people are super stoked, and like I've said before, like, you know, gamers will forget things, so they might have forgotten all that, and they'll just, and the sales for the pre-sales for it are speaking to like how, how many people are gonna, want to play it. um uh, I will say, I did play 76 a year afterwards, and it did come a long ways. And I played it after they started putting NPCs into it, and that's why I started playing. Because initially they didn't have it. They were trying to make something that it wasn't. And the biggest thing with Fallout is the interactions with NPCs and stuff like that. And I kind of like that they were trying, like, it would be nice to do like a co-op version of that, but they were trying to create it into an MMO, and I don't know that it works as an MMO.
No, that's
Now,
not Fallout.
yeah, now I could see Fallout as like a co-op game where
Yeah.
you have a friend,
Yep.
like up to like maybe 2 to 3 players, maybe even 4 that go through it or something. But like, and even that's a stretch. But like trying to create some kind of MMO out of it, I don't think works for Fallout much, especially for like, because it's all story driven, you know.
Yep.
So it works better as more of a solo, and then like more like then a cooperative, so like a duo. So, you know, trying to make it an MMO was kind of a mistake and a misstep.
Yeah,
However,
I agree. I always say, I applaud when developers take risks, take chances. Um, but there's a point where, yeah, you kind of gotta realize, okay,
yeah,
yeah, no, this is bad.
and and the other problem with 70, they monetized the crap out of it,
Oh yeah,
and like,
it was ridiculous.
and there was so many like, there was some good with it, but there was a lot of bad. So there was like that. I, I don't know, like, it's kind of a wash at this point. So just kind of like, hey, forget about that and just move forward. And hopefully Starfield, they learned all their mistakes that they made with 76, and they're going to minimize that with their Starfield launch. Now, I expect them to have bugs, because everybody does. They're gonna have a day one patch that they're gonna have to do stuff. But as long as it's not like anything game breaking and stuff, it'll probably do fine.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of basically my feeling on the matter as well. I think, like I said, I'm a Bethesda fan, or at least I was. However, I wouldn't push myself into the category of fanboy,
Yeah,
because I have not to this day even looked at Fallout, like playing Fallout 76. As soon as they announced the concept, I was like, nope, that's not Fallout. Sorry, done.
yeah, and
Not nope.
I was in the same boat, because I was like, this is not Fallout. Like, and I was hoping they were gonna at least like announce like a Fallout 5 or something, and then there was like and the more they were talking, I was like, this is what are you talk? What do you? This is not, what are you doing? This is awful. What are you in?
Yeah.
And they got a lot of blowback from that, and then they doubled down on it, and then they kept going. Like when they got all the blowback from that, all that negative, stuff from the players, they should have just scrapped what they had, and just
Went
like
went back to the
it.
drawing board.
Yeah, it really they should have it, but sometimes.
Real quick, I'm going to jump into chat and welcome to everybody here. Lord Blue X, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for joining. Lucas Johnson, good to see ya. Angus the Beefy, welcome to the stream. Champus the Bunny, welcome. And Monkey Puzzle, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for joining. Monkey Puzzle says, I liked Fallout 76 because it was multiplayer and didn't have all the annoying NPCs. Just wanted to loot and fight and explore with my friends. And great, Monkey Puzzle, but that's not Fallout. That's that's slapping the Fallout name on a different genre of game. That's not Fallout. So I'm sorry. You don't have to destroy the tradition or the legacy of a franchise in order to create something else. Just create something else. You know. That's what they're doing. They're taking the Fallout, lifting pieces here and there, slapping it on basically a way to milk the Fallout fan base, and with a game that has that is not Fallout in essence, and calling it Fallout. It's just not a Fallout game. Sorry.
Here's the other thing. That concept may have worked better also if it didn't have all the problems that it did when it launched, because it was awful. It had game-breaking bugs. It was exploited by cheaters. It was a complete mess for the first year that game was out. So, even though like trying something new, like I could get that, and I can get behind trying to make a Fallout MMO. I can get behind that, I guess. But the fact of the matter is that game was so poorly handled that you just can't get past that.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. 100%. All right. So that's basically our basics, behind the question. We're going to get into the Starfield Direct here, guys, and I'm hoping we can make it all the way through. It is a pretty lengthy video, guys. If you have not seen it yet, I'm sure a lot of you have already. It's been out for a couple of months. I haven't, like I said, I haven't done anything like this on this channel before, so something a bit new. But if we don't get to it all, you haven't, and you want to watch it uninterrupted online, the link to the Starfield Direct is in the description of this live stream. So check out the description. You can watch the entire thing. Like I said at the very beginning, I will be pausing this a lot. We'll be pausing frequently to comment on things we see. Also, because we want to make sure that we make this as transformative as possible. And get into the Starfield stuff. So I will say real quick, my concerns about Starfield are there are some. I won't say there are none, because otherwise why would I be asking the question, will Starfield suck? It's a possibility. But I will say that because I have watched this before, but I also, a year ago, they released the first full 15-minute gameplay video, and the 15-minute gameplay video there were a lot of issues with. The performance looked kind of wonky. It looked like there wasn't a consistent frame rate. Things, it was jumping all over the place. The graphics hadn't. I mean, they were they weren't the best, which I've never made. Graphics has never been high on my priority list. I mean, for God's sakes, Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind is one of my favorite games, well, if not my favorite game of all time. So yeah, obviously you know how high graphics are on my priority list. So yeah, and there were a few other things, and then couple that with the decisions they made and the handling behind Fallout 76. And then I don't know as much about Redfall, but again, like I said, it sounded like another pretty pretty bad release. So, yeah, I am concerned, but I am hoping that Starfield will turn out to be a return to form. It'll be Bethesda getting back to doing what they do best, which is the massive, the single player, massive open world, or in this case, open basically galaxy concept RPG. Lots of factions, lots of story driven content, lots of quests, all that kind of stuff. Lots to explore. They'll let you, one thing I've said before that I absolutely love about Morrowind is, you've got your first 10, 15 minutes, you wake up on the boat, you're a prisoner, they take you inside, they get you processed, that's where you do your character creation. Then they pretty much release you out into the world and they say, you should probably go talk to this guy, but you don't have to go talk to this guy. They pretty much just release you out in the world and say, go. And I'm hoping that Starfield is going to be pretty much that, a return to that kind of aspect of, again, like I said, what Bethesda, what made Bethesda such a good game studio in the first place. King Crusaders, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for joining. All right, Schneidi, anything else you want to add before we jump into the direct?
Nope.
Okay, guys. So I'm going to get this started, guys. Let me know if you can hear everything, if you can see everything. Let me know how it comes through. Because like I said, I've never done anything like this on the channel before. So we'll see how this goes. Here we go, guys. This is the Starfield Direct released by Bethesda. Again, if you want to watch the full video, the video in full, uninterrupted, because I will be pausing frequently to comment and all that kind of stuff, you can find the link to the full video in the description of this stream. So, let's see. All right, let's go. Here we go. Oh, there we go. All right, we're playing.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us today and welcome to Bethesda Game Studios.
Okay, I know, wait, we're only like 10 seconds in, but I just gotta say, Todd Howard, love him or hate him, you gotta give the man props. I mean, you gotta give the man props. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, I think you could probably criticize him for a lot of, again, Fallout 76 handling, but you gotta give the dude props.
Yep. We've been so lucky over the decades to make the kind of games that we love here. And that's thanks to all of you. From the Elder Scrolls to Fallout, we love creating these worlds and playing in them just as much as you do. And throughout all that time, we'd often talk about and dream up the space game. What if we could take that feeling of being who you want to be and exploring a new world, but set it in space, where you weren't really limited in where you could go or what you could do? And that is Starfield. Obviously, we've come a long way since then with the games we've built, our tech.
I have to pause it here because I don't know if you guys caught that. I loved this. Okay, so I'm gonna go back just a couple of seconds here. All right, so here I'm gonna go slow here. All right, you see they're showing all of the Fallout, or the Elder Scrolls, the Fallout, and then they get to, okay, that's enough. I love it. The moment they decide to cut from that that pan, it's telling and priceless. It's like, Fallout 76, they kind of show a little, no, we're done there.
Technology and all of us here in the studio, we've done so much together, but, well, we've never tried to make a game like this. Today, you'll get to hear from many on the team and see so much of what we think makes our game special. So let's jump in and take a look.
Here we go, guys. In-game footage
is our first new universe in over 25 years, but it's still a Bethesda RPG through and through, where you step into a new world and you get that feeling of unlimited possibilities.
And that's what Bethesda fans want. That's what I'm talking about. You know, that's what they're good at. They need to get back to that 100%. Hopefully he's not just blowing smoke, you know, because he like I said, you got one thing Bethesda excels at is marketing and you know, getting people hyped for their product, whether it's a pile of dog shit or not. So, and I mean, anybody who says they didn't know that Fallout 76 was as bad as it was, that's a lie. They absolutely knew how bad that game was at launch. They knew it. And then to come out and hype it up so much, I mean, that's where I really lost a lot of respect for Bethesda. It's like, come on, guys, you're number one. You're using this game to try to milk as much cash as you know from your fan base as possible. Just trying to milk them. And number two, you're feeding them a line of crap. You know that you're flat out lying. You know there is no possible way that you did not know how bad this was before launching the game. It's not possible. So just stop with that. And unfortunately, they did. You know, for the longest time, they didn't. Like you were saying, Schneidy, they kind of doubled down on it, and it's like, oh no, it's not that bad. We know we got some things to fix, but we always have things to fix. You know, it's like, no, dude, just own up to your crap. You know, take some responsibility.
And when I mean they doubled down, they resisted putting NPCs in for a long time, and then they finally put to me, it was an admission that they knew they messed up when they put the NPCs in.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's get back to it. I will say though, I mean, so far, like what we're seeing, what they're showing off here, looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But this time, it's not just one world. It's over 1,000 worlds. Because the choice
crazy.
Of where to go, it's not ours. It's yours. And it wasn't until now that we had the technology to create it. From the rocks at your feet, to the mountains in the distance, to the people and creatures that live in these worlds. That isn't just a backdrop. That moon is actually there orbiting the planet. Yes, you can visit it too. We realistically simulate the galaxy around you. Our next-generation lighting model uses real-time global illumination to light the world based on the type of star and the makeup of the planet's atmosphere. We also have an all-new animation system. And of course, you can play it in third person, and you can play it in first person.
All right, Schneidy, question for you. What do you prefer, first person or third person?
Probably third person.
See, and I'm the opposite. I'm normally more of a first person kind of guy with games like this. But I love that there's the option.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I might go first person, but a lot of times I end up liking to play third person because you have a better field of view around your character. So.
Gotcha.
But there's more immersion with first person.
Yeah. All right, let's keep rolling.
We love exploration and rewarding it, but you do explore differently in this game given its scale. That usually involves exploring an area you've landed in. You can collect resources.
Have you played No Man's Sky? Is it No Man's Sky?
I have.
Is a lot of people are saying that this is basically how you craft in No Man's Sky? Is that right?
Yeah.
Or how you collect resources?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I've never played No Man's Sky, so I'm not very familiar with it at all, but a lot of the things I'm reading, people are kind of giving them crap, like, this is just straight ripoff.
Yeah, but like, what...
There we go. Angus the Beefy just I've said it before, I'll say it again, it looks like No Man's Sky or Elite Dangerous.
But, like, would you rather have a pickaxe and go up and mine it like every other survival game or something? Like,
no, I think in this setting it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, and it just makes it easier, and you have a tool that zaps it, like,
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna, like, with the specific genre of games, you're gonna have some overlap on some stuff just because makes, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Like some things just make sense
Makes
to do.
sense.
So
Yep.
this works. This seems to work. Why not use it? So
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. That's common throughout all games, all genres. You know, you'll see things repeat in different games. Common themes, common elements, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But,
Do a mission, and maybe even stumble upon something unexpected.
abandoned mine.
here we go. Space punk. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pause it here. I just wanted that action scene to play out. But I will say, this compared to the original gameplay trailer they play, or the footage they released like a year ago, it's night and day. It's completely different. That action scene was much more smooth. So that was one thing that kind of, relieved my fears a little bit about what this game will be. Because before it was the gunplay was pretty bad. I wouldn't say it was top notch. I wouldn't call this like the best gunplay in a game that I've ever seen either. But there's a difference between acceptable, that'll believable and not. And before it was pretty poor. It was pretty bad. All right, let me go through a little bit more of the chat here. Not a matter of how you harvest and build. To have one magical tool that does everything is a bit lazy. That is a bit that is cloned straight out. See, the thing, I understand your point, Ronald. I understand your point. But what I always come back to is you have to be as realistic as possible in the world that the game is created, while simultaneously understanding that it's a video game. So there have to be exceptions. There have to be limitations, right? I mean, your expectations have to be tempered a little bit. You're playing a video game, so of course compromises are going to have to be made. That's just the nature of games in general.
That's odd. Out of all the things to pick to be kind of like nitpicky about, or to like be, I don't know, angry's not the word, but like to nitpick or whatever, like that that seems like something odd, I guess. That's something to focus on and point out and be like, well, that's a straight rip off of No Man's Sky. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's the internet.
I know, but so.
And then Champus the Bunny says, everyone has a mining laser in the future. I will say this. Your character, and this isn't a spoiler, this has already been revealed, or maybe even will be revealed in this video, but that's how your character starts. You literally are working for a mining company. So you are a miner. So
that's like almost every space game. You're some kind of miner, and you have some kind of weapon that's a beam weapon that mines, and then also kind of works as a weapon initially too, until you get another gun. Like that's like almost all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. No worries, Ronald. I appreciate your input. Love it. I welcome the conversation. And being a builder, not a fighter, I totally understand that as well. I love the building aspects in games. Building was one of the things, well, probably the thing that drew me to 7 Days initially. So, yeah, I'm with you. All right, let's keep rolling, guys. Oh, hold on. It froze on me. Give me a second, guys.
Oh, jeez.
Still frozen. All right, let's go back just a second here. Let's go back to here and see if we can get it to pick up again. There we go. Okay, it's moving again. All right, sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties.
We do love stuff and all of the items allowing you to pick everything up, and you can view all that in your data menu. This is the hub for everything you're doing, from your skills to your ship, your missions, and your inventory.
All right. First thoughts about this, Schneidi. This is what your inventory or your basic menu is going to look like. What do you think? Just your gut reaction taking a look at it.
It's too simple.
It is rather simple. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if you're expecting me to say something.
No, I just want you. I was curious about your honest opinion, because that's that was another criticism going around the internet, that doesn't look like they didn't put too much thought into the menus and that kind of thing, which personally I think is ridiculous. There's genius in simplicity. I've said it all the time.
Yeah.
We don't want it to be too overcomplicated, Yeah. So I like I said, because it's I've been following this probably a lot closer than you have, if I had to guess. Would that be a fair assumption?
Would be a quick assessment. I've been looking. I mean, I've been keeping an eye on it, but I haven't sought out things on it because I've wanted it to be kind of more of a, I don't know, surprise more than not like surprise. I just it's not something that I was gonna get at launch, because I was probably something I was gonna wait and see what happens at launch and see if it was going to be good, and then let them work the bugs out a little bit and then get a little later.
Right.
That's kind of how I was looking at it. So that's why I wasn't too I wasn't too worried about learning as much as possible about it. When I get closer to buying it, that's probably when I was planning on concentrating more on.
Makes sense. Totally makes sense. Yeah, I'm generally speaking, I'm in this. I take that same approach. I almost nowadays anyway. I almost never pre-order a game. I can't even remember the last game that I actually pre-ordered. Boy, it's been a long time. I usually let the game come out, wait until the dust settles, then if I hear some stuff about it, that gives me a good impression, then I might pull the trigger and play the game. But generally speaking, I'm not one to rush out and pre-order and jump on right away. It's just never been for the longest time, never been my style. So I'm with you. All right, let's keep rolling.
We love to pack a ton of detail in every object, from all of your weapons to spacesuits to food. We just obsess over the details, and food. We obsess over food. When you're done exploring, you can walk back or fast travel to your ship. We have companions and crew you can take with you. I left Vasco here back at my ship.
Welcome back, Captain Howard.
And he can even say your name.
All right, over under. What are the odds that they will? Because my name obviously is going to be Savin. What are the names that Bosco, or what are the odds that Bosco is actually going to pronounce my name correctly? Because so many people get it wrong. Stupid question, I know.
I say he'll get it. I bet he'll get it right.
You think he'll get it right? All right, you guys heard it. Mark it down. That's Schneidy's prediction. Me, I don't care.
Let's head out.
Oh, that looks cool, though.
Our mission was to convey the wonder and majesty of space exploration, to evoke the romance of the golden age of early spaceflight. And we've been referring to this approach as NASA Punk. This means a design language where the tech is advanced, yet still looks grounded and relatable.
For us, it's that contrast. That's where the visual interest is. Obviously the NASA, which is the rigid, hard function over style, and then punk, which is all about style.
You know, I gotta say, I think that description of the art style that they're going for is spot on. I think it's great. You can see the NASA influence, and then you can see where they've, you know, kind of taken a little bit of liberty and taken it beyond, which would be the, you know, the punk side. So NASA punk, I think, is perfect. Angus the Beefy says, I miss physical pre-order bonuses. That's when pre-ordering was worth it. Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Oh, Chase, welcome to the stream. Not sure if I said welcome to you, but good to see you. Thank you very much for joining. So I think, and I personally am a fan of the art style. I think it's really cool, and it makes sense. You know, it's like if you're thinking about continuity and kind of the history of this universe, right? Of this where this game is set, kind of makes sense. Of okay, we take the current existing style and then we just expand on it. What would that look like, you know, X number of years in the future? And, you know, I think it makes sense. And I think it looks, you know, pretty darn good.
Yep, I agree.
All right, let's roll.
You can see that visual style coming through in your ship. Your ship is your home for you and your crew. And like many of the spaces in our game, it has a slightly retro and analog touch, a bit of lo-fi rather than sci-fi, where everything is well used, worn, and lived in.
And I think that's important, right? Because if you think about it, if you space is vast. I mean, beyond vast. So if you're going to be spending if you're in space in your ship, you're going to be spending a lot of time in that bad boy. So no way it's going to be, because that's one of the things with a lot of sci-fi is everything looks all shiny and polished, and you know, it's like, no,
and
that's not what it would look like.
And here's the other thing, like it's, you think like space futuristic and stuff, it's all like, you know, super high tech and, you know, nice, like you say, but when you get down to it, when you get to this point, when you have explorers, like when you get down to it, these guys are just blue collar guys, really. So like all this stuff is just like just regular guys. This is like space truckers and that kind of thing, you know.
Exactly right. Yeah.
So all of this stuff is gonna all this stuff is gonna be, you know, have a lived in, like you said, like a lived in look. It's just gonna be like, you know, just like regular stuff that you would see now. It's just you know, in the future.
So I'll use myself as an example, right? I'm just a regular everyday dude, right? I drive a 1992 Chevy Cavalier. That's my car, right?
Okay.
It's got some dings. It's got some, you know, it doesn't have a lot of miles because I honestly, you know, don't have to drive a lot, which is, you know, kind of a blessing and a curse. But anyway, it's got some dings. It's used. You know, you can take one look at it and be like, oh, okay, that car's been around the block a bit. You know, I try to keep, you know, okay, that's a lie. I don't clean the inside as often as I probably should. I'm not even going to lie about that, okay? I hesitated there because I was going to say that I try to keep it. No, I don't do as good a job as I probably should trying to keep the inside clean. But that's because most of the time I got more important things to do with my time than you know, cleaning the inside of my crappy car. But, you know, that's how a lot of people are. 92 Cavalier still exists today? Yes! And it's one of the best cars I've ever owned. I've never owned a new car in my entire life. I hate the whole concept. I buy beaters, and I drive them until the engine engine explodes or the transmission goes. That's what I do. I love that. I think if you put a little bit of TLC into an old beater, it'll get you a lot farther than buying a brand new piece of crap off the lot. So yeah, Savin drives a 4x4 with a cattle scoop front for deflecting zombies away from the cab. Oh, I wish, you know, that was actually, I've always wanted to have a nice 4x4 truck. That was always but I never got around to, you know, actually getting my hands on one. Instead, I buy the old beaters for, you know, a few $100 and drive until they explode. All right, let's keep going.
All righty. What's the plan, Captain?
this is your star map. It starts with the planet you're currently on. You can see all of its info and resources. You can choose a landing spot or fast travel to known locations. Backing out further, you can view all the planets in the system. Obviously, the game is big, and it's here you can see planets that have key locations, missions, or life on them, versus the many planets that are barren but resource heavy. Zoom out even further to see all the systems in this part of the galaxy. Here, you can plot a course to ones that are light years away. This uses your ship's grav drive to fold space and jump to these systems. And you will need to upgrade your ship and skills if you want to jump to the most distant ones. But
all of this, I think, makes sense. Of course, folded space has always been a theory out there that might be one possibility for faster than light travel is folded space. So I kind of dig the direction they went when they decided to get, when they got into their space travel. I think it makes sense. It's a good direction for them to choose to go. So
yeah,
I would agree with that. See, Chase says, I agree with you, Seven, but it's a friggin' Cavalier. Hey, I don't care. It gets me from A to B, man. That's all I care about. Plus, it gets great gas mileage, which is another thing kind of cool. All right, let's keep rolling.
For now, we'll plot a course to the Alpha Centauri system where we can find the city of New Atlantis.
That's cool.
Welcome to UC Space. Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo. Scan complete. You are cleared for landing at New Atlantis.
Where's old Atlantis?
What was that?
Where was old Atlantis at? Did they find that apparently?
Well, I was going to say, if there is a new Atlantis, that would mean that there obviously had to be an original Atlantis. So I guess this is Bethesda's way of coming out and saying that they believe in the existence of Atlantis. So there you go. Chase says, NASA's Enterprise ship used the theory of folding space. All right, let's keep rolling.
As soon as you land in a city like New Atlantis, your eyes are guided upwards to just these boundless, vast buildings.
It's the biggest city we've ever made, not just in size, but also in the amount of custom art, crowds, and quests.
So the main focus when we're designing a city is obviously what supports the story. We try and tell as many small stories as possible.
This is a colony war memorial.
It's a few moments of gameplay that make the space feel like it's full of real characters that are going about their day-to-day lives.
It's paralyzing if you really stop and think about it.
Buddy, it's coffee.
I'm going to pause it here because that's an interesting thing he said. That's one flaw with a lot of games, especially role-playing games, is you'll walk into a city and it seems like, because the NPCs are always in the exact same place. They never move. It's like, it's very obvious that they're not real, Of course, it's a video game, so we know that they're not real, but it should give you the appearance or feeling or, illusion that they are real. And that's something that I think has been missing from RPGs. There's been a problem with RPGs for many, many RPGs. And it'd be interesting to see if this actually pays off, or are they actually, this statement is actually true, so that these people aren't just standing there waiting for you, the protagonist, the hero of the story, to come in and interact with them. They actually have lives in that city. They have a reason for doing the things they're doing. They go home at night. Maybe they have their families. They do their jobs. They're not just standing around all the time doing nothing. So I would be really interested to see if they actually pull that off, because that's kind of hard to do. That is hard to do, and I doubt that it's going to be perfect. But if they even made a little bit of an advance in that area, I think it would be a good sign for the game. Let's see. Chase says a bunch of big buildings that you can get in or can't get in. It's the thing. I mean, you can take lots of buildings and big buildings in the city. If half of it you can't get in. See, and that's the question, Chase. That's the thing. And that's another thing. We haven't gotten to that point yet, but that's another thing, another criticism that people have lodged about this game is Starfield is huge. Like, it's 100 systems with, in this galaxy, 100 systems with over 1,000 planets. And the fear is that most of these planets are going to be like giant wastes of space. Nothing there. But from what they've said, especially in the cities, that the handcrafted sections, I think you should be able to pretty much go wherever you want. So if I think it's going to be, again, time will tell. But that's a valid point. That, again, like I said, that's one of the criticisms or one of the questions that has been raised. Is it's vast, but is there a point to that vastness? Is there a reason? Is there going to be a reason to actually explore? And how captivating will that reason be? What will the restrictions be? All of that. Those are all good questions that we don't currently have all of the answers for, and probably won't until the game comes out. We get our hands on it and can actually play it, get in there and check and see for ourselves. But it's a valid point. Let's keep rolling.
It's also where your adventure with Constellation begins.
Welcome to Constellation.
Okay, let's stop it here. First impressions of the character models, the NPC models. That's in 2023. That's what Bethesda is going with.
It's not surprising.
I agree. Again, I'm only bringing this up because this is bothering people out there. It doesn't bother me in the slightest because that's not why I play games like this. But
it goes back to you've got a game on this scale, like something's gonna get sacrificed. I guess if it's the character models, then yeah, I guess so be it. Could they be better? Sure, but I don't know if this is what they sacrificed on this end to make something else better. But they don't look terrible, and if they all have speaking lines and stuff, like, hey, you know what? That's pretty good. But like this is kind of on par with Bethesda, like, honestly.
Yeah, so I would say if we compared what they're showing us from Starfield to past Bethesda games, definitely an improvement over Bethesda games. If you compare this to maybe other games out there on the market, no, they're not comparable. But I think that's apples and oranges. I think you brought up a great point. In video game production, you have to make decisions. You have to, okay, what do we have to sacrifice in order to accomplish our main goal? What has priority here? And generally speaking, in past Bethesda games, it's been all about, they've been more focused on the story-driven aspect, the questing, the world, being able to explore the world, all those kinds of things, and trying to cram too much into one game would make the game unplayable. It would destroy performance. So, having the characters, I don't see anything wrong with this. I've never been, graphics are everything kind of guy. It's never been my top priority. I'm more interested in gameplay and that kind of thing.
And as long as it's not, as long as the models aren't game breaking or they're not terrible like Mass Effect Andromeda, where some of the models were they look like horror shows. Like, as long as it's not that, then hey, it's fine. Like, this isn't terrible. Now, yeah, could it be better? Yeah, but you know what? If she's talking to me, and it's, hey, I can buy into it. That's good enough for me.
Yep, I agree. All right, let's keep
We
rolling.
have a lot to talk about.
By the time you meet them, Constellation is sort of seen as this mythical group. Most people don't even know they exist anymore. They're the last true explorers in the galaxy, and they're trying to find the answers to some of humanity's biggest questions.
Okay, sorry. I know, guys, I pause it a lot, but kind of have to. But I think this is another thing that I kind of a thumbs up from me. So the first faction or first group that you are introduced to is the ones that they're all about exploring. And I think that might be telling, because they're might be their way of saying, hey, we're getting back to our roots. We are getting back. This is a return to form, because we know what our fans, what was important to them, the stories, the exploration, the open world, being able to go and do whatever you wanted on your timetable. And the first faction you meet, that is their mission, to explore, right, and try to learn the secrets of the universe, as they put it, or something close to that. I think that's a good sign. But I might be reading a little bit too much into that little bit.
I was just going to say, you think they're that deep to do something like I don't know, man. I think that's a stretch.
It might be a coincidence. I might be reading too much into it, but I personally took that as okay, that's a good sign.
I'm gonna disagree with you on this one, Simon.
All right, no worries.
The artifacts are so different, so alien, and I'm certain one of them reached out and spoke to you. The artifact, if you could place it on the table here.
Oh my god, look at how it's coming together. That means there's a set built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
It's definitely an eclectic cast of characters. You've got Sarah Morgan, the ex-soldier and adventurer, now Constellation's leader. Mateo, the theologian who believes that there's definitely something else out there. Noel, the gifted scientist and Sarah Morgan's protege. And Walter, a very successful businessman in the settled systems and Constellation's financier.
Anything goes as long as you have the money.
There's also Vlad, the ex-pirate, Sam Coe, the former space cowboy, and Barrett.
You know what I hate about these pirates? Completely resistant to my otherwise irresistible charm.
The journey you take with Constellation is just the first of many you'll embark on. The Settled Systems is home to all kinds of different stories, people, and adventures for you to uncover.
The United Colonies is where you'll find New Atlantis, the first major human settlement in space. The people who live here value law, discipline, and the legacy of humanity. They consider themselves the true children of Earth.
You ever think of joining up with the Vanguard? Help the United Colonies, even get your UC citizenship?
New Atlantis isn't the only city within the United Colonies. The city of Sidonia on Mars to this day serves as the largest mining facility for the United Colonies. Beyond the United Colonies' reach, you might find yourself in a much more wild and independent coalition of star systems. This is Freestar Collective Space.
Yeah.
The capital of the Freestar Collective is Aquila City.
The Stone Root Inn is an Aquila City fixture.
So, but I don't know if you know, but oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, this is my area. I love this. I love this place.
Oh.
Hello.
Did
I cut out?
Yeah, you cut out there.
Okay, sorry. I've been cutting out. This is my area. I love this area already. It's got a whole Western vibe to it. I love it.
Yep. So that's why I was like, okay, so Star Wars was meant to be, basically cowboys in space, right? That was the original idea for George Lucas, right? Cowboys in space. And that's the first thing that jumped out to me was, this is cowboys in space. When I saw this thing.
When they showed that cowboy earlier, I was like, are they gonna have like a Western kind of thing? I was like, can I be a cowboy in this? And when they showed this, I was like, oh, thank God, I get to be a cowboy.
Yeah, and they're making this out to be like the the Wild Wild West, right?
Yep.
That's
But
in space.
It would be in a way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. El Profe Andre, good to see you. How's life? Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Dead Meat, welcome to the stream. Single player game? Yes, this is Starfield. So yes, single player game. Yeah, one thing I'm excited about, or one thing that intrigues me that I love is the multiple factions. Multiple factions that are reportedly in this game. So I love being able to join different factions and do all the different quest lines and all that fun stuff. So yeah, and it makes sense. Different areas are going to be controlled by different groups, and some are going to be they're going to have different governance styles, so to speak, and some may have no governance styles. So yeah,
pirates.
Yeah. And well, later I won't spoil it, but later on there's a they actually confirm that, hey, if you actually want to be,
yeah, yes.
Let's see. El Profe Andre says, do we still have faith in Bethesda? That is the great question. That is the question. That's why I asked the question, will Starfield suck? Because as I said, you got to give Bethesda credit for one thing, at least one thing. They are masters at marketing and masters at getting people hyped for their game. Even if they know their game is dog shit, they will get out there and tell you it's the greatest thing since sliced bread and make you believe it. So they're doing that with Starfield, man. They're getting out there and saying this is, and you see it throughout this video, the Starfield Direct. They're hyping this thing up and praising it left, right, and center, and yeah, they're going all in, saying, "Oh, that's Bethesda." So, are we can we trust what they're telling us is true? I don't know. Sorry, Schneidy, I kept going. You tried to jump in there.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah. I for the most part, I'm gonna kind of like I said, I'm gonna wait and see. But for the most part, I'm gonna kind of assume it's gonna be at least a decent game, if not a good game, and then wait and see what happens and see if it's a debacle or not. And hoping it exceeds my expectations, then it's an excellent game. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's probably going to happen.
Yeah. See, like I said before, generally speaking, with games like this, I take a wait and see approach, where I'll let a few months go by, at least, see give them time to iron out the bugs at start, and then from there make my decision based on people, the opinion of people that I do have faith in their opinion, and then go from there. So yeah, this is, it's like you get burned by these companies, and like you've made this point before, Schneidy, that's one thing that this is the one industry where the companies making these products just can continually crap on their customer base, and the customers will run back and ask them for more crap. Just run right back to them and say, ooh, yay. That happens over and over and over again. And that's why, it makes sense that why people would be on their guard, because Fallout 76 was so bad. I mean, it was so bad. Right. And the fact that they addressed it and went about it initially the way they did tells you everything you really need to know. But at the same time, I'm also a big proponent in redemption. Giving people a second chance, or a chance to demonstrate that they have learned the error of their ways and corrected, and came back with something that was decent. So, you know, I'm always willing to give people the chance to you know, correct course. I think that's you know, we should all do that, you know, because nobody's perfect and everybody makes mistakes and it's part of life. But at the same time, how many chances do you give companies and you know, that keep making the same decisions, same mistakes over and over again, and then until you finally say, yeah, I just don't believe your crap anymore, you know? And sadly, with a lot of companies out there, a lot of big developers, it seems like no matter what they do and no matter how bad things are and no matter how obvious it is to anyone with half a brain, just how little respect they have, how little care they actually have for their paying customer. It seems like you know, especially in the gaming industry, it might be changing in other industries a bit here and there, you know, but gaming industry, it's still alive and well, man. Yeah. They will. I mean, for God's sakes, I won't go into specifics, but yeah, how many franchises can we point to that have been the same dog crap game over and over and over again? Sometimes just almost exact copy pastes, just with add a number and release the exact same game with all the same problems. It happens all the time, and unfortunately, gamers, a lot of people out there, they just they go back for more, you know. And I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that this will be, you know, a return to form for Bethesda, and they will release us a game that is good, you know, that this new IP will be fantastic. It'll get back to what Bethesda does best, and all that fun stuff. But you know, at the same time, you've got to you'll always, or at least I will. I'm generally a skeptic by nature. I'll always have that voice in the back of my head saying, yeah, but this and this and this and this, you know. So that's just kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
Let's get back to a little bit of chat. Let's see. Professor Andre says, should I say Bugthesda? Oh yeah, that's one thing that is absolutely true with Bethesda. When this game comes out, it will be riddled with bugs. That's very, very true. And I have to be honest, you know, I got to be upfront with you guys. I knew that I've played all, you know, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim. They were all chock full of bugs. But you know, I was one of those. I looked past the minor bugs, because there weren't like game-breaking bugs, but there were like annoying bugs and quest-breaking bugs. So yes, I was one that kind of gave him a pass on some of that. You know, so I have to own up to that. That I absolutely did that. Gonna take responsibility for my myself there. You know, I'm not above that either, because I've done it in the past. You cannot, anybody who could say to you with a straight face that Bethesda games are bug free. Yeah, no. Let's see. Let's keep on going here. Do we still have faith in the big studios? I have very little, personally. Like I said, and okay, I'm gonna put it this way. Yes, they make a lot of really bad decisions that are not gamer friendly. That are not looking out for the interest, you know, not trying to deliver the best product to their customers, all of that. But they do it because they can, because the gaming community, the gamers out there, keep buying the crap. So what incentive do they have to work harder, put more effort, put more time into making these products when they can put out half-assed products, do not put in time, do not put in the resources, put out the crap products, and people will buy it anyway. what incentive do they have? None. So of course it's not going to change. Of course they're going to keep doing the same thing because they can. Because the gamers haven't stood up en masse and said this is bullshit. We're done with this. You know? So, and it's going to keep happening. It's going to keep happening. We're going to keep getting crap games because we accept mediocrity. We accept less than mediocrity. We applaud when we get mediocrity. You know, when it's a mediocre game, we're like, oh, this is sweet, because we're so used to crap that when we get something that's, you know, barely passable, yeah, we applaud like it's the greatest thing ever. And it's gonna stay that way until people actually step up and speak out and start standing up and stop giving these companies your money, because that's all they really care about, you know, and that's their businesses. That's, you know, that's why they're there. They're there to deliver. Well, I won't get into the yeah, we could go on down a whole different rabbit hole there, but yeah. Okay, let's keep going through some of the chat and then we'll get back into this here. Okay. Let's see. I liked New Vegas. I did too. It's not even a Bethesda game. It's my favorite of the Fallout. Well, the new Fallout franchise. I personally well, I don't know. It's so tough because the original Fallout and Fallout 2, I loved those as well. I think the stories in those two games were amazing. But they all had things I loved and all things I was like, eh. But if I was forced to pick my favorite Fallout game, I would have to say New Vegas for sure. And that was by Obsidian. So that wasn't even, you know, that was Bethesda saying, hey, we need a new Fallout game here. Do this. You've got, what was it? They had, it was a very limited time. I forget. Yeah, very limited time frame to do it. And they released a game that is a classic. Love it. Let's see. Explicit, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for joining. Joseph Smith, welcome to the stream. Twitter leaks from Coder reviewers have said very little bugs. Well, that's encouraging. I will say that the leakers out there, stop it. Stop it. Those people annoy me to no end. I hate that. It's such crap. It's like, look, you want what do you think you're going to gain from this? Yeah, you might gain some clicks, but just stop it. You are ruining everybody else's experience. Let everybody else experience the game if they want to experience the game instead of trying to, you know, leaking all this crap. I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan of that at all. They should stop. Joseph Smith says not only buying but pre-ordering, and I understand that. That's kind of where I'm at now too. I'm like, this is one game where I'm actually considering doing the pre-order, just mainly because I'm a Bethesda fan. I've loved most of the titles they've released. Number two, from what I've seen in this direct, is like I said, I have watched this before, so I have seen it. Not only this direct, but a lot of the information they've come out with after that. It's encouraging. So yeah, but, and also because I would love to dive into this game and make some videos for you guys down the road to you know, do some tutorials and that kind of thing. Well, I think it'd be awesome. So, but I don't know. I haven't made that. I really, honestly, right now, I'm kind of going back and forth on whether or not I want to actually jump in right away, or whether I want to hold off until, you know, we get a little news on how it actually is. So, I personally haven't, you know, definitively made that decision yet. I'm leaning one way, but yeah. Lord Blue X says, I'm one of the one that pre-tested it, but I won't even post it. Good for you, Lord Blue. That's the way you should do it. That's the way you should do it. That's awesome. Let's see. I wonder if anyone saw my comment prior to the live stream. I'll just say this has New Game Plus. Oh, cool. Okay. Awesome. All right. Schneidi, how you doing, man? How you doing for time? I know you only said you had about an hour. Are you still good?
pretty soon.
Okay. Just give me that.
I was figuring when you decide to go for your first break, you'll probably call it.
Oh, I'm probably not going to go for a break. I don't even know if we're going to make it. We're only 10 minutes into this 45-minute video.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of the thing. I was like, oh, this is. Actually, then I think I'll probably excuse myself now. Then sorry, I can't stay for the whole stream.
No worries, dude. I understand. Like I've always said all the time, real life comes first. So yeah, I just appreciate you jumping in and helping me out. As long as you could, dude. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I will talk to you later and thanks for having me. Sorry I can't finish this. This does look fantastic. I do hope it's gonna be good. I do have reservations. I won't be pre-ordering it because I'm trying to avoid pre-ordering things. So that's about it.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, you take care, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yep.
Later, brother.
Yep. Later.
Okay. There we go. All right. Let's get back into the direct, guys. Again, if you guys, I don't think that I'm going to be able to get through the entire thing. Maybe we'll come back and do another stream. Maybe this weekend if I have time. So yeah, this past week has been rough for me, guys. It's been a crazy week. I won't go into the specifics, but I've been pretty sick all weekend, or all week really, and I'm still pretty down. And it's not the flu or anything like that. I got food poisoning, so and it's a crazy story, man. Crazy story. So I'm not gonna be able to probably not gonna be able to make it the entire 3 hours like I normally do. So we'll get as far as we can into this. If you haven't seen this and you want to see more, check the description. I put the link there to watch the full video uninterrupted, so you don't have to listen to me yapping on and on and on. You can watch the whole thing. And wherever we stop today, I'll come back at a later date and we'll pick it up there and continue the discussion. But for now, we're gonna keep on rolling here and see what else we got.
A ranger relies on judgment and intuition to do what's best for the people.
Neon started out as a fishing platform, but is now known throughout the settled systems as a pleasure city, where almost anything goes.
If you've got morality issues, this definitely isn't the job for you.
Ryujin is hiring the best and brightest of today for our future tomorrow.
Everyone has been chewed up and ground up by Neon. Try not to get yourself killed, all right?
Outside the bounds of civilized space, there are still plenty of unclaimed systems to explore, but these areas are also home to the most hostile factions in the galaxy.
The great serpent hungers. All heathens shall be made dust in time.
A new face. Is this the face of a brave runner here to challenge the Red Mile?
They think the galaxy is theirs. They are wrong. It belongs to the Crimson Fleet. It always has.
In Starfield...
That's, again, I got to get back to it. That's one thing I'm really looking forward to, all the different factions. And the way they kind of explained it, that the outer reaches, the uncivilized areas, as it were, make sense. That's where where the rogues would hang out and all that fun stuff. Let's see. Food poisoning. Can't cook properly? No. Okay. Okay, let me... I'll give you guys the quick story. So, Saturday, we had a water issue. We had a water valve break in the house, and so we had to turn the water off to the house, which meant at the time, that Saturday night, the only thing I had in the house was a little bit of pasta, but in order to cook pasta, you need water. We didn't have water, so I was feeling really lazy that night, and instead of going to the grocery store and picking up, something that didn't need water in order to make, I was like, you know what? I'll just go be a fat kid tonight, and I'm gonna hit up McDonald's. So I hit up McDonald's. I got the McDouble deal. It's like $3.50. You get a McDouble and fries. Came back home, ate that. That was it. I was like, all right, cool. Woke up early in the morning on Sunday. So just so you guys know, it takes 8 to 10 hours for a foodborne illness to really impact you. So the timing was, I knew immediately. I was like, oh crap. Woke up that early in the morning on Sunday, and yeah, it was rough. So it was a bad decision on my part because I was feeling lazy and didn't feel like going to the store and picking up something more substantial. I rarely, eat out. I treat myself every once in a while, although I don't consider it a treat because I think almost all fast food is trash. But I decided, because I was lazy, that a quick trip to Mickey D's would be the better idea than going to the store and grabbing something more substantial. Yeah, it probably would have taken me, extra half hour to get there, do the shopping, and get home. But no, I was lazy, and oh man, did I pay the price for it, man. It was rough. It was rough. Chrono, how you doing, man? Good to see ya. All right, let's keep on rolling here. Are you saying the McDonald's is not healthy? Blasphemy. Yeah, Mickey D's. Yes, understandable. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly. Yeah, you chose poorly. Yeah, indeed. I did indeed. Oh, man. All right, let's keep rolling.
We're pushing our cities and settlements further than we ever have before. It's all there, waiting for you. A slice of humanity's future.
So, ready to get out there?
Throughout the galaxy, there are so many things to see and stories to experience. But the most important story is the one that you tell. I'm the type of person who spends hours in character creation, and I think people are going to be really excited when they see all of the improvements we've made.
One of the biggest overhauls was done through our character generation system. We scanned a wide range of faces from different age groups and ethnicities. And by mixing and matching all that data, we were able to create highly detailed and diverse characters.
We use that exact system to create all of the characters and NPCs you're going to see in the game. So any character you see almost always is a character you could make yourself.
I think that's kind of cool. Again, this is character creation. I love that it's available in games, and I love when it's extensive. But me personally, I don't take like a million years setting up my character, because I character creation's one thing. I want to get into the game, so spending all that time on character creation kind of defeats the purpose of the game, because you're there for the game. So great that it's an option. Me personally, I could take it or leave it.
Hey, come on. Okay, take it easy. You were out cold. No physical damage. Mentally, the jury's still out. You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
Classic Bethesda start of a game. I kind of I like the way that they went about this. You have the intro bit, the little intro bit, and then you have you approach an NPC, and like in previous games, like Morrowind, you're on the boat, you wake up, Jube tells you, oh hey, we're here. All that. You get off the boat, you walk up to the guy, he takes you inside, and then he processes you, and that's where you do character creation. Similar concept here. I won't get into what they've because they have released more information. But if you want to look it up, great. If not, if you want to keep it as spoiler free as possible, awesome. I won't mention it what leads up to this point, but this is basically the how the character creation goes. And I think it's again, it's a return to Bethesda. I mean, that's normally how they do it.
You start your character,
and I can have a beard. Sorry, I didn't pause it at the right place because this guy is clean shaven. But the bearded guy, a few things back. Yes.
The creation journey as though you're cycling through employee records. You'll pick from a lineup of 40 presets, and that'll be your starting point. Your journey from there can be as detailed or as quick as you want it to be. This new system has more to offer than ever before.
It's also the simplest character generation system we ever had. We let the player get as close as possible to make whatever they want. With the various facial morphs you can blend together, the dermesthetic and makeup, blemishes, scars, piercings, teeth settings, it's a lot. But I think it's the most fun to use.
But is it going to be as crazy as the Oblivion character creation? Because I think Oblivion's character creation was the weirdest in Bethesda history, in my humble opinion. You could come up with some wow. If you guys have ever played Oblivion, you know what I'm talking about. The things you could do with character creation and that were just insane. And I mean, just stupid. And not stupid in like, a mentally deficient way, but I'm talking stupid as in, funny, hilarious, just dumb. You could make your character look as goofy as possible. So will this, they say it's the most extensive ever. I don't know, man. Is it gonna rival Oblivion's craziness? We'll see.
Character creation is more than just how you look.
Yeah, that looks like my aunt's dentures. Yeah, that was a kind of a creepy smile.
Look, this is also where you start to decide who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Backgrounds give you a bit of backstory and start you out with 3 basic skills.
From chef to Dusty. You know, the crew still has a betting pool about which restaurant critic you must have crossed to wind up here.
What's great about backgrounds is you never know when yours is going to come in handy. You could be in the middle of a fancy restaurant talking to some guy, and suddenly you learn he needs a beast hunter to help track down a monster.
Fine. I probably should stick to professionals anyway, given what happened the last time.
We're also giving you the option to customize your build even further by letting you pick up to 3 traits.
Now, one question I had about this that I'm not 100% sure about is, yes, picking a class system or picking a background, as they call it in this, that's not new. A lot of Bethesda games are like that. All the Elder Scrolls games are like that. You can pick your classes and that kind of thing. But there was always an option to do like a custom class, where you could customize. Okay, I want this. I want this. I want this. Is that an option in Starfield, or are you pretty much just whatever they offer, all the backgrounds they offer? That's it. There's no like customized background. So that'll be interesting to see.
Traits are completely optional, and they come with their own advantages and disadvantages. You could choose to meet your biggest fan.
By the terror! Is it really you?
He'll join your crew, and he'll give you gifts if you're willing to put up with his constant commentary.
I can't believe I get to stand near you, breathing the same air. I've got to have every molecule.
My favorite trait is kid stuff. You have to pay some credits to support your parents, but they're very sweet, and it's really fun to go visit them.
Honey, we got ourselves a visitor.
Oh my God!
I came across some hostile zealots in space, but because I had chosen a trait that made me the same religion as them, I was able to get by without any issues.
There's another great one that gives you a damage buff when your health is low, but mercenaries will randomly show up and try to kill you. No matter what you choose, there will be plenty of ways for you to tell your story. And if you want to remove a trait, there are ways to do that too.
What a view! It's a feast for the eyes. Off we go to another adventure.
we'll let you discover that on your own.
Look at the flowers. Look at the flowers. I think it'll be interesting to check. I mean, as with every game like this, there's going to be traits that might be worth it and traits that are absolute trash and you should never take. It'll be interesting to see the pros and cons of all of these. So that'll be a good thing to look into once we get in there for sure.
Once you've built the perfect character, that's when your journey can really begin. We took what we loved about skills and perks from our previous games and put them together to create an all-new skill system. Each time you level up, you get a skill point, which can be used to unlock or rank up skills. Ranks are unlocked by completing challenges associated with that skill. Challenges become increasingly difficult as you work your way to higher ranks. With our 5 different skill trees and 4 ranks per skill, there's a lot to choose from.
I like the Xeno.
So I'm wondering if maxing out your character is going to be possible in this game. Because that's one thing that, like, with past Bethesda games that I absolutely loved was just trying to max out everything, you know. So that'll be interesting to see if because he's not kidding. If you do the math on that, I'm not gonna do the math because, you know, math sucks. But if you do the math on that, yeah, you're gonna have to be pretty high level. So what's the level cap gonna be? Will it be possible to max out your character? And as always, there's gonna be skills that are much better in the long run than others. That's just how it goes. So yeah, it'll be interesting to explore all of that and test all of that out. I'm really hoping. So I'm gonna be doing level 500 max, isn't it? I have no idea. I have no idea. No idea at all. It'll be interesting to get into that, though,
Sociology
once
skill
the game comes
because
out.
it lets you mind control aliens.
Boost pack out of the gate. I'm boost packing everywhere.
I like maxing out my physical tree so I can get neuro strikes and just punch my way through combat. That one's a lot of fun.
Invest in the skills that suit your playstyle.
I'm very much a stealth player. So, I'm out there pickpocketing everyone. My favorite part about being stealthy is slowly creeping through vents like you're in a movie, and then jumping out and springing on people.
Whenever possible, I like to talk my way through situations.
This area's off limits. Fine, I'll issue you an access card.
I'm more of a run and gun player. I like doing the death from above thing where I boost pack over guys and I throw landmines at them.
That's another thing that I love is that you can make your character cater to your play style, right? So you can pick and choose which way you want to approach the game. Hopefully that's true, and hopefully it's not completely out of balance, and that some certain play styles are just like completely OP. We shall see. But yeah, I love the customization, being able to pick and choose which way you want to go. So, you know, again, I gotta say this again, guys. I know I've said it a lot, but I gotta say it again. Bethesda's great at this kind of stuff. They're great at hyping up the game and marketing, and making you believe it's going to be, you know, everything they say is absolutely, you know, Scout's honor, truth, the hand on the Bible, all of that stuff. So they're great at that. They're great at that. So they're saying a lot of things that I love to hear. They're saying a lot of things that have me going, oh, really? Now, whether or not that turns out to be the actual truth, you know, we'll see. But I'm loving a lot of the things I'm seeing and hearing so far in this video. So yeah.
I like blowing stuff up.
Me, right now, if I had to pick, I'd probably go jetpack sniper. That, or boost pack, whatever they called it. That'd probably be the direction I went for my first run. So we'll see.
Exploration is a key aspect of all our games. In Starfield, there are full star systems with new life, resources, and adventures. Our team worked hard to strike a balance between fun and realism. We studied data from NASA and a multitude of other sources to help us make the world feel believable. From the way we approached planetary atmospheres to the way we placed biomes based on the planet's distance from the sun.
See, and I think that's really cool. That's really cool. That makes sense. Again, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Realism in video games, it needs to be realistic for the world in which the game exists, right? You don't always realism doesn't always mean today in our world, what makes sense here on Earth. No. Realism in video games is what would make sense for the world and the universe in which the game exists, right? Because that's the whole point of video games, generally, especially games like this, RPGs and all that kind of stuff. Unless it's specifically based on Earth in this day and age, without any other outside elements, you gotta stick with the world where your game exists. This is a futuristic game set in not set specifically on Earth, but it's kind of maybe in the future of this Earth. So you got to keep a lot of that stuff in mind. So the realism has to pertain to the world they've crafted. And if they do a great job of crafting the world, or in this case, the galaxy, and they're able to explain why things are happening, that there's a reason for it, and not just because, that's great. And if you're going to be making a game like this, where you have systems, planetary bodies orbiting a star, then of course it would make sense that the farther out you get, the less heat there's going to be reaching that planet from the sun. It's going to be colder. The biome, it's going to change things drastically. Just look at our own solar system, how drastically different each planet in our solar system is, and that makes sense. And I'm glad they took that approach, and that attention to detail is important in a game like this.
Once we had created a grounded world, we could start looking at all the things that make that world fun. When you leave a planet and head into space, you'll be navigating asteroid fields, having chance meetings with interesting strangers, dogfighting in space, and exploring derelict ships. It's all out there. Ultimately, it's about rewarding your curiosity, because whether it's on the surface of a planet, the alleys of a city, or the vastness of space, you never know what you'll find.
Or if you'll find anything. That's one, again, getting back to one of the earlier points we made, one of the criticisms lodged, is that there might be a whole lot of nothing on some of these planets, which, again, that you would have to you have to understand the reason why. Handcrafting 1,000 worlds, not going to happen. No. Of course, they're going to have to use procedurally generated worlds and all that fun stuff. So.
Space exploration is possible thanks to your ship. Your ship is almost like having another character or home you can make all your own. I think you'll be blown away by the amount of stuff you can do. You can buy a ship.
I'm sure you can find something you like.
Customize and upgrade that ship. And hire a crew to keep it up and running. And it all starts in spaceports. Every spaceport has a ship technician where you can purchase, sell, and modify ships.
Anything I can help you with?
Maybe you start off with a speedy fighter that's perfect for bounty hunting. Then you might round out your ship roster with a hulking space freighter to run cargo missions, or even do a little smuggling. For now, though, we're going to take our starting ship, the Frontier, and make some changes.
So I like this here. So it's a Frontier ship 1 of 1. I'm interested to see how far you can actually expand your ship, right? So shipbuilding, having a you can have a he said they use the word fleet of ships, but how far can you expand that? How many ships can you have, and all that fun stuff. So yeah. Let me see. Oh, exploring ghost ships? Heck yeah, yeah. If the game is as good as they say, hope someone make Star Trek mods. Oh, that's another great thing about, you know, this game is going to be very modder friendly from what they've said. So that'll be great. All right, how far
customize?
How far in are we here? We're almost halfway. So guys, I think I'm going to go to the halfway point and then I'll wrap things up because I'm starting to wear out. So apologies again, guys. I'm not gonna be able to go the full 3 hours, but it's been a crazy week, and I need to get some rest. So, but we'll keep going here for a second.
And upgrade everything you see here. And you have 2 ways to do that. You can quickly upgrade individual systems like your weapons or shields, or you can deep dive and enter the shipbuilder mode. Here you can change anything, from the systems to the look and layout. Adding a new habitat module can give you more room for crew. Adding cowling can change your ship's overall silhouette. An improved grav drive allows for longer distance space jumps. You can even fully customize your paint job to get the exact look you want. The parts you choose to build with don't just affect your ship's stats. They'll also affect what you can do inside your ship. You can have modules for crafting, or for storing and displaying your weapons. Starfield's in-game ship manufacturers bring their own look and feel to every piece of your ship. From living quarters, to cargo holds, mess halls, and control rooms. Our modified Frontier is a practical ship, but with a little creativity, your ship can look like almost anything you want.
It's a bit odd, but one of my favorite ways of customizing ships is I make them look like animals. The HMS Platypus, as I called it, where it had a giant tail to it. And we've done spiders, we've done mechs. So it's really whatever your imagination is.
And while you can build your home among the stars the way you want to, you're probably not the only person who will call your ship home.
And we're about to get into companions and that kind of stuff. So I think that's almost exactly the halfway mark. So I think we'll probably call it there. But that's one thing. The ship construction looks really, really cool. Being able to customize everything and make your ship how you want to make your ship. Guarantee day one we're going to see a many male appendage shaped ships. I'm just waiting for who's going to be the first one to drop one, and it's going to happen, guys. It always does. But I just love the fact that you can customize it, make it however you want, all that fun stuff. So there are some things in this game that really, they look good. It hits all the right notes for me as a gamer and the games that I prefer. And that, like I said in the beginning, I have been a Bethesda fan for a very long time. I have more hours in Bethesda titles than probably every other game that I've ever played combined. So yeah, that being said, didn't touch Fallout 76, have yet to this day purchased a copy or played a second of that game because I knew just from the outset, before even the build up to Fallout 76, I was like, this is going to be crap. And not only was it crap from the perspective of a fan of the Fallout franchise and what those games actually are, and the format that they should stick to. It was also just a dog crap game, period. So many bugs and the monetization on it, and all that crap was just no, heck no. So I will say, to answer the question, will Starfield suck? I am cautiously optimistic that this game is actually going to be good and something that I may be able to really sink my teeth into and get into. Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to say definitively, yes, this is going to be the greatest game ever and the best title Bethesda has ever released and blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not going to go that far, but I will say cautiously optimistic. Still pondering whether or not I want to pre-order. I don't know. So the way it works, guys, it's $70 now if you want to pre-order it, and that's just for the base game. You can spend $100 and get the deluxe edition, which will give you 5 days early access. You can play the game a few days early. Plus, you also get there's a couple other things, and then you get the first announced DLC, so future content, which to me an extra $30. I don't know if that's worth it to me. Basically, you're paying for to play the games a couple of days early, and you're paying for DLC. So future content for a game that you don't know if the current content or the content on release is actually going to be any good. So the game could turn out to be total crap, and great, you just spent an extra $30 on more crap in the future. It's like, okay, is that really worth it? I don't know. I don't know. Again, generally speaking, I am not a fan of pre-ordering. I'm just not. The only reason I'm contemplating getting this game at launch is because I'd love to cover it. I would love to, if it turns out to be good, I would love to cover it. I'm not big on just constantly. I don't like the negativity and all that kind of crap. So if the game turns out to be crap, I'll definitely give you guys my opinion and say, yeah, this is crap. And then just leave it at that and try to move on to something else. But if the game is good and it turns out to be another in the vein of Morrowind or Skyrim or the Fallout 3 and 4 or Fallout New Vegas, which wasn't Bethesda, but you know what I mean. If it turns out to be something like those games, then I would love to get into this and because this is my wheelhouse, guys. This is the game. These are the games that I absolutely love. And if I can get in there and enjoy the game and give you guys some feedback and some tutorials and all that kind of stuff, the things that we normally do here in Savant's World, I would love to be able to do that. So that's kind of what I'm wrestling with, guys. I don't know. I'm not 100% sold, but I'm cautiously optimistic that this will be a good game. And I'm intentionally, I do not want any of the spoilers or any of that kind of stuff. I might watch some non-spoiler reviews if I decide not to pre-order, and then make my decision from there. But yeah, Bethesda burned a lot of like Snidey was saying, they burned away a lot of their goodwill. A lot of the fan base, a lot of the gamers out there that were ride or die with Bethesda boy, yeah, 76 was a kick in the balls. It really was, and so disappointing on so many levels. And you know, who knows if this game is going to be great, and is it worth dropping the good chunk of change down without having a little bit more information, considering what has happened in the not too distant past? That's the question. That's the question. That is the question. And I will be honest with you guys, I haven't made that determination yet. Got a few days. Got a few days to make that determination. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I'm gonna call it there, guys. Thank you everybody who joined the stream today. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who participated in chat. Thank you to everybody who was watching in the background. You guys are all awesome. Just an update on what to look out for in terms of videos. No video on Saturday, but I'm thinking about doing some Starfield information leading into the launch week, the following week. So, yeah, because I was, like I said, this week was so, I was dead to the world pretty much this whole week. Yeah, it was impossible for me to get any video work done. So no video on Saturday. If you missed any of the live stream, of course, this will be up on Savin's World Live on Sunday, so you can catch up on anything you may have missed. And if you were enjoying the direct and have not seen it, want to see the rest of it, the link to this video, the full video, is in the description. You can watch it. I will be back at some point, maybe tomorrow afternoon. I don't know. We'll see, to kind of finish this up. Maybe Saturday. I don't know. It all depends. So maybe instead of Saturday doing a video, maybe I'll do a live stream covering the rest of Starfield. That might be a good compromise, since I was unable to get a video completed in time for you guys. Yeah, I think that might be what I'm deciding, what I plan on doing. So we'll see. We shall see. Again, guys, Starfield, will it suck? I don't think it's gonna suck. Cautiously optimistic, but time will tell. But for now, this is Savin saying thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me in Savin's World. And remember, the average gamer is always king of the hill on the bell curve. Have a great night, guys, and we will see you next time.